know they can get some bars with me if they want to do a diss song about me. It will be the youngest. The oldest.
The youngest would go be the one with
the oldest. The oldest is scared of me, but the youngest would go in like Lil Wayne on me. I'm sure.
She ain't even got it right.
She ain't even got it right. It's straight off the dome. I promise you.
Daddy, where's mommy?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, parents of the American world? We back with another episode.
We back.
We get right into it. Little parent situations, scenarios going on. I throw at my boy. Let's see what we got today. Today we start out with, you find out your teenage son has been bullying a disabled kid from school. What you doing?
I would have to. Is this the only kid you can bully? Like, not that you wanna teach your kids to be a bully, because we all know bullying is wrong.
Right.
But if you're gonna be a bully, at least let it be somebody impressive. Right. Like, come on now, like that. Now I'm about to bully you,
right?
Because you're being dumb. Like, that ain't cool.
My first question is, what does disabled kid do to you? Because we always assume.
That's right. You ain't lying, because
we always assume,
because the high school we went to, some of them kids was mean.
Yes.
Some of them kids was mean.
They'll ride over your foot with a wheelchair, not apologize.
So on the surface, it's like, yeah, but did they deserve it?
Yeah.
did they kind of deserve it?
Without being, a terrible citizen, but still, at the same point, it's
that might be a situation where I go to a school and say, I know my kid. What did they do? What did this disabled person do? I know my kid.
He just ain't going out.
He just ain't going out bothering people. Of all people,
right.
He's going out bothering
right.
people.
Did he spit on them? Because maybe this warranted what he responded to.
And we always teach our kids to defend yourself.
Defend yourself.
We ain't put
Don't be no punk.
around it.
Right. I ain't no bit.
We ain't put parameters about it.
Right.
Defend yourself.
This is right. It's questions.
That is a tricky spot to be in.
It's questions.
And sometimes, it may be better just to assert your dominance than to be a punk.
There it is. That's what I'm saying. That's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying.
Okay. All right, moving on. Let's do about 2 or 3 more of these things here. Okay, so we have your 10-year-old daughter takes scissors out and cuts off all her hair because she wants to be twins with her brother.
Now, I didn't experience the scissor part because anybody want to be twins, but the scissors part
I have
and cutting hair,
yes,
that is something like what are you doing? Like,
right.
Why are I think it was a stupid excuse that I got. Oh, I was cutting paper for a project. I'm like, what was you cutting like this?
Right.
Like, what was the paper?
How did it get there?
How did we get here?
How did we get here?
Like, right, how did we get? Now you got this patch here,
right?
That I'm sure you're going to be laughed about at school, and because you're sensitive, you're going to go home crying.
And you're going to pick on disabled kids.
You're going to pick on disabled kids now because you picked on. So, I mean, when it comes to the daughter stuff, mm-hmm. I'm more of a mom handle that kind of stuff because it's a girl. I know that ain't right, but I don't know. I'm real conscious about how hard I come down
on your girls.
On my girls, yeah.
Because I have no boys, I think I treat my girls not as I would treat my boys if I had some, but I still give them the same, I guess, mindset of if I had a child, if I had a boy.
Right.
So I'm real hard on my girls, which you don't hear from dads.
Right. Yeah.
You don't really hear that, but I want them to be, I guess, the smartest girls in class, mm-hmm. Act like a lady, and things of that nature. So anything they do, I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead. So we always thinking like we always on discipline mode. Basically.
Right.
What were you thinking? You're better than this.
Right. You better than this.
I'm just trying to find out the train of thought so I can teach you better. Maybe I made the mistake.
What made error? Maybe it's a training error.
Maybe I did something wrong, and maybe I need to correct my flaws. Correct your flaws, because clearly you just didn't come out and do this. Because maybe you're watching too much TV on that tablet too much, Clearly, if I gave the wrong signals for you to say, I want to cut my hair off.
Right.
There's something else.
A track is kind of missing
Right.
on
That's
the
all we're
logic
saying.
train.
That's all
Right.
we're
I'm
saying. We're just trying to
complete-
connect it so we
Right.
can keep this train going down the railroad.
Right.
That's all.
Right. I'm definitely.
You know.
I'm definitely like. I'm gonna let your mama handle this one. I'm gonna let your mama handle this one because
I'm tired from the last one we had to deal with.
Right. So yeah.
Okay.
Haircutting is something serious.
All right, let's move over to the sons then. You return home from a funeral, depressed, you're upset, sad, to find your son drunk, naked, and asleep in your bed with his girlfriend. Once again, these scenarios sound more in the white neighborhood. Not to say I hate my white brethren and my sisters, but it just sounds like these are more of the white nature.
These are more issues that, as a melanated person, we don't. But I did see this on a TV show.
Okay.
It was on what's the name of that show with the Waynes?
Marlon Wayans?
No, Damon Wayans.
Living Color? Well, that's a long time ago.
Gosh, what's his name? Oh my gosh.
White
My
Chicks?
Wife and Kids.
My Wife and Kids.
I used to love that show, My Wife and Kids.
Okay.
And so that actually happened where now he wasn't drunk, the son wasn't drunk, but they walked in on him having sex with his girlfriend in their bed. And so
Disrespectful.
they moved him out to the garage.
Because you got to get out this house.
You got to get out this house.
Clearly, you don't respect these to get here.
We put you out, but you ain't going to be in the...
Because there ain't no telling. If you did it in my bed, it ain't no telling where else you done did it.
Right. And now we got to change sheet. We
Right.
got to change the whole mattress.
Now when I'm intimate with your mother,
that's all I'm thinking
in my
about.
mind.
This
It's all messed up. The mindset is messed up.
Right, like I
So
can't
I just
even...
need you out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, in the mind. So they moved him out in a twin size bed.
Makes sense.
Into the garage. And they were still actively using the garage to park the car. So he like, this is just a spare room. They pull it in the garage. You see the headlights coming up to the bed. So that's how they handled it. And I feel like in a black household where once the kids get too grown, we putting them out for anything. That's probably the closest.
That's the closest thing that you get put out.
How it will be handled.
Any
like,
age. You 16, 14.
I may not release you out into the world, but you won't be in the main house.
Right.
You're gonna be in the garage.
Right.
Next to the washing machine.
Next to the washing machine.
So-
Pulling up. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
So I could definitely see myself handling that type of situation like that. You may not have to go out into the world, but you ain't gonna be walking around in my house all free.
It would just resonate in my mind over and over again. Like, was he right here? Was he right here? Like, once again, it comes back to show me something, because I obviously taught you something wrong. Show me my flaws so I can teach you better. Because clearly I messed up.
I would feel like the biggest flaw would be not having a healthy fear of me. That would be. I would feel like they don't respect me at all.
Yes.
Like, dang near, I don't even want you in my room when I'm not home.
Right.
So now not only are you in my room, you in my bed with your girl skiing.
My thing is, why wasn't your bed good enough?
Why wasn't your bed good enough?
What happened with the decision of, I want to be even more adventurous. I don't want to do it in my bed. I want to do it in my mom and dad bed.
That's just the level of, like I said, can't be a healthy fear.
It can't be.
It can't be a healthy fear.
Because first of all, the fear would be not even trying to sneak them in the house. That's the fear. First of all, that's the first fear.
That's the first fear.
I don't know what time my mom get home, my dad get home.
Right.
Hey, you got to be in and out.
Right.
So hey, I ain't even thinking about trying to do it in my mama bed. I'm just trying to do it somewhere quick in the house.
Like in this episode of My Wife and Kids, I mean, it was a whole romantic scene.
Right.
Like he had it laid. Yeah, like he had it laid. I don't know if they went out of town or something.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. Maybe they went out of town and came home earlier than what he thought they was. But it was a whole romantic scene laid out with the candles and stuff. And so, like you said, you've already leapfrogged one fear of having anybody in the house.
Right.
it's a couple more fences you done jumped over.
You done jumped over
to come
quick.
in my room.
Right.
And that was wild, man. That was wild. That was wild.
It's just the fear factor that you instill at an early age.
Like again, we
touched on this last week.
You got to feel like my parents might be kind of crazy.
Right.
And
I don't know what they.
I don't know what they're going to do. Like,
of.
I know they love me, but they'll kill me if necessary.
Right.
And like, that's a healthy fear. Hey, they'll kill me if necessary.
And you got to have a little bit of that in you.
You got to have a little bit of that in you too. I don't know. Simple fact though, it's not that I'm not doing something because I know it's not right. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing something simply because I don't know what my parents gonna do.
It could go any way.
It could go any way, and I'm not willing to deal with those consequences.
At least not early.
At least not early on.
I still got a whole life to live.
I still live here.
Right. I gotta come back.
I can't mess this up. I still live here. Like that's just too.
Oh snap!
Like that's that type of move that tell you, I'm so ready to get out. Like that tell you they ready to move out.
Right.
Now, depending on the age, you still use your parental wisdom to. But if in that scenario, because you said alcohol, they was drinking and stuff, they must be.
They have
something like adult.
Maybe something like that. They could drink at 16, 17. You know
yeah, that's true. But even at 16, 17, we may just need some time apart.
Yeah, we forgot about the drunk part. So clearly he's not in the right mindset.
Right. So we may need some time apart.
Right.
Let me see if your grandparents available for a couple months.
Just for a couple months.
Just for a couple months, because I need to cool off. Head to church, go down to the altar and get some of the saints to pray over my family.
Bro, I feel you. All right, we got two more.
Okay.
All right, so this one says, you come home from work to find your son or daughter has destroyed a full crate of eggs that you bought for his or her TikTok skit. What's his fun of that?
Yeah, that's social media.
Everybody trying to go viral.
Everybody want to go viral.
And the thing is that in that situation, I say the viral clip would be me coming home and displaying some level of decibel.
That's what the viral clip is. You
want to go viral? We can go viral.
We can go viral.
I can find ways to go viral if that's what you want.
That's it. You should just say
that's
something.
what you're desiring.
Right.
That's easy.
You should just say something. We go viral real
set
quick.
This scene up real quick. Well, I just go up there and just go upside your head a couple times, and
you ain't even got to pay for advertising.
Right.
You ain't even got to pay to promote it. You got to boost it.
That's easy.
Right.
Embarrassment is like the essential part of viral clips.
I think that would be one of them things where one way to tee me off. I'm cheap. I don't want. If I ain't got to spend money, I don't want to spend money.
I'm right there with you.
So one way to tee me off is to be wasteful, because that's costing me money, unnecessary money. We probably was gonna eat them eggs for breakfast tomorrow, and now I
had me an egg sandwich in the mind.
Right, I probably had plans for them eggs.
And you don't work, don't provide.
You don't work. You a liability. In ever since, you bring no money into this house.
No, you only take money out, a liability.
And you wasted all my eggs. So, again, if you want to go viral, just say so. I can make that happen.
A question is asked, me being more of a technical dad. Another scenario would be, I sit down with my son or daughter and say, how many followers do you have? We going viral. How many? You got 10 followers.
I need a bit of cost analysis.
You got 10 followers and you wasted 20 eggs or 12 eggs? Oh, yeah, we need to have a talk.
Do you know how much eggs cost? Divide that by them 10 followers. And you tell me, was it worth this beating you about to get?
It's just, the kids, once again, it all leads back. It's like a funnel. It all leads back to the fear factor.
Yeah,
kids
you
don't
gotta have a healthy fear.
Their parents anymore. Sometimes you just gotta, on a normal day, walk in their room, bust in their room, and say, "What y'all doing? Do I need to get my belt?"
Right. Like I know I'm veering off a little bit, but it's like some of these viral clips I've seen where kids playing pranks on their parents and stuff like that. And this was pre social media, but it was a dude on MTV, Bam, I think was his name, and he used to bust on his dad.
Yeah,
sitting on the toilet and start punching him and stuff like that. And the dad was just like, come on, guys, stop. Again, sound like non-melanated people problems. I just don't see us doing that. But still, just in this example, dad's totally getting punched on. And they laughing. There's not a healthy fear factor in there. None. Hey, I'm in the bathroom. That's parent. I'm in the bathroom. And then you punching on me? What? Man.
Just to go viral.
Just to go viral. It's a lot of things I just don't understand. And maybe it's just because my upbringing, my background just don't make sense to me.
I'm with you. I'm with you wholeheartedly. All right, last one. This is not a scenario. Well, it's more of a. It says, parents, my mini vacation was nice. This is the parent speaking.
Mm-hmm.
My mini vacation was nice. The kid come back and says, you didn't go on vacation. You were just sitting in the car in the driveway. Parent, exactly. Now, I will tell you, that's the best vacation in the world. I have experienced that vacation many of times where I come home and know it's midday, everybody up, the house probably wrecked, and I'm about to walk into some stuff. And I will just sit in the car, maybe play some tunes, maybe not, and just sit there and just relax for 5-10 minutes and get my thoughts together, already understanding what the situation is inside so I can deal with the situation when I get in there better than I would if I just bust in.
Yeah,
Those are essential vacations for parents. I would suggest you do that more often, and that'll help you not whip your kids as many times.
Like that, just like you said, just basically sit in the car,
right?
Windows down,
right?
Because you need that fresh air.
You need the fresh air. You done farted a couple times. So
you done farted a couple times. You need the air
out. You
need
fresh air.
But sit in the car in the drive, right there in the driveway.
Yeah.
And chances are, especially as a dad, you probably already received them text messages from your wife.
Right.
The kids in here losing their mind, and they wait on you to come home
to deal with it
as the judge, jury, and executioner. They wait on you to come home to really lay down the law. Yeah. So now you got to get in that mind frame to do that. But before you do so, just kind of woosah a little bit, like you said, maybe with the radio on, maybe without the radio on, but you just woosah for them 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Relax.
Don't have a care in the world as far as your thoughts go before you enter the madness.
Right.
You know,
you got our work, you done dealt with that mess. Now you got to go home and deal with mess. Get your thoughts together. And then whoever
this kid is have too much sense and need to stay out of grown folk business.
Come on, somebody.
Talk about you just in the car. Mind your business.
Right.
Mind your business. Why you worried about where I was? Mind your business. I tell my kid, I'll be walking out there. Where you going? Mind my business.
Right.
You don't pay
no bills.
You don't pay enough to ask me where I'm going.
You don't pay no bills.
I could be going outside just to stay at the edge of the driveway. Right. Mind your business. Right. Shoot. I'm away from y'all. That's
away from y'all. There you go. Away from y'all.
That's where I'm going. Mind your business.
Mind you. That's all it is. That's pretty much it. And that was scenarios for the week for today.
Our parental advice.
There you go. Just giving you good advice to help you get through your day. That's all we do. That's what we're here for. We're here to help the community, the world, to be better parents. And to be better parents, you already know, whip your kids. It relieves your stress, and it brings that fear factor that we have to take or we have to talk about every week that kids need.
That healthy fear. It makes it easier. Hey everybody, just wanted to take a quick break to remind you, if you're watching this on YouTube, to hit the subscribe button right now. Follow us on all social media, especially Facebook and Instagram. And make sure you leave us a 5-star review
5-star
wherever you're listening to this podcast on your favorite streaming platform sites. Now back to more content. Let me tell you why I hate my kids.
Okay.
So before I set this up, I'm thankful and I'm blessed to have provided my kids a decent life.
Okay.
Me and their mom work hard. Mm-hmm. They're pretty much spoiled. They spoiled, and it aggravates me how spoiled they are, but they spoiled. Well, I saw this meme the other day where they were saying how it was a father. He punished his son and sent him to his room. Mm-hmm. So he had to the son's room and see him like pretending like he's making a diss track about his dad. In the meme I saw, like the boy standing there, he has a bunk bed, standing in front of his bunk bed, have like the microphone hanging with some headphones on, like he really making a diss track or whatever. And it made me say, I wish my kids, if this is actually something my wife and I talk about all the time, that we wish our kids would grow up and become a rapper, be one of those rappers who talk about how hard of a life they had or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, boy or girl, you know, you did everything you want. You done went to the Bahamas.
Yes.
You done went to the mountains.
Yes.
You done been on cruise ships.
Yes.
You done did stuff I ain't did till I was grown and paid for it myself.
Yes.
You know, you don't even do yard work.
No.
You want to talk about, you want to make a diss record on me?
What is the diss record saying, though?
Well,
what would your kids say about you?
The only thing, and see, that's the thing, like, what would you even be dissing? Like,
my diss song would be, I know my kids would be, because I'm hard on them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anything, something simple as leaving it's always something, because I always think 10 steps ahead. So if you do something today, I see my youngest daughter bullying my oldest daughter. So I have to discipline her because I don't want you bullying other kids. Mm-hmm. I feel like, okay, I don't want that bleeding off into something else. So I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead. So I'm always finding something to be mad about with anything they do,
right.
Which I'm trying to be better at, but I'm always finding something to be mad at that we can have. Let's make this a teachable moment. Basically.
Right, everything a teachable moment.
Yeah, everything is a teachable moment in my house as far as you did this, let's find a better way to do this. Let's not do this anymore. Let's find a better solution, basically. So I know they can get some bars with me if they want to do a diss song about me. It will be the youngest. The oldest.
The youngest would go be the one with
the oldest is scared of me, but the youngest would go in like Lil Wayne on me. I'm sure.
She ain't even got it right.
She ain't even got it right. It's straight off the dome. I promise you. She can give so many bars. But the craziest thing is the youngest one is the more, I would say, more loving, more affectionate one. She's the one to come up and would say, "Good morning, Daddy," and give you a hug, give you a kiss. The other one's more shy. She's more like me, more affectionate, more like that. She's not that. And the youngest can flip it at any time. Can be mean as a mug or be loving and you never know how to take it with her. But so you just always discipline her as to the fullest extent of the law.
Right. I think, and now you mention it, I think what my kids' diss record on me would be me painting them like I had a perfect childhood. I went outside. I had jobs. Yeah. I played with my friends. Yeah. and I used that against them all the time. When I was your age, I was doing that. Yeah. Like, okay, you was this great 11-year-old. That's what they diss record would be.
I scored touchdowns. I'm about to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Like, you have done nothing with your life.
I have two of my boys in football, and I ain't saying I was this world class athlete, but I was decent.
You was decent.
I was decent.
You know, I turned heads. I had people show up to my event.
People show up and had the expectations of my performance. I was decent.
Okay.
And so I go and watch you, and I'm sitting here like, you ain't got no eye of the tiger, boss. Like,
you don't look like you want to be here.
You look like you want to be here. Like, I see you on them games all day. Yes. And I tell my son, I grew up with video games too. Super Nintendo, PlayStation, had all that. But I went outside. I played. I played ball, all this different type of stuff.
That's where you get your skills at.
That's where you get your skills at.
For backyard football. Yeah, that's
right.
Where you get all the, skills
it kind of pisses me off because I sound like my dad sometimes and say, you ain't going to learn from them games.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and do it. Them games can't teach you. And then I found myself saying that. And as soon as it passed my lips, I'm like, dog. I don't turn into this man. But that's what my kids' diss record would be on me. But it would just be the premise of a diss record when your life is so great. Like,
so great. You don't realize how good
you don't realize how, like, my dad apologizes to this day for not being able to do some of the things that he wanted to do when we was kids. And I tell him all the time that you did what you could. We still had a great, let my kids tell, I had a great childhood, But But for them to have taken a step further and can head to summer camp with school, we was over summer home, home, not answering the door,
Or yeah,
right.
Don't answer
Don't answer the phone. That's what we was doing over the summer. Home, not answer the door.
Can't go outside.
Can't go outside.
Gotta wait till mom and daddy get home.
Right.
Don't answer the door for nobody. Stay in your room, do what you want to do. Don't eat up all the food.
Don't eat up all the food.
That was it.
Because I'm only going to the grocery store when I go to the grocery store. Right. Yes. That was how I spent my summer. But y'all got free reign of the pantry. You go to camps, out of town trips, trips and all this kind of stuff. I mean, and I don't mean just 2 hours away to we here in Jacksonville. I don't mean just Orlando or Daytona. I'll go into mountains and cruises and all different type of stuff. Spoiled riding.
And I don't mind spoiling my kids.
I don't mind spoiling my kids.
I like to see that. And I found a hack to parents or parenting is the birthday gifts with mine. One just recently had a birthday. And what we do, or what parents do, is always throw a birthday party. This big extravagant birthday party with the biggest cake and buy all these gifts. And the kid, obviously, I would think they like it. But the biggest hack to that is on their birthday, I found I took my kid to Walmart and said, take them down to the toy aisle and say, get what you want to get. It's a million toys out there. So they running crazy. She running crazy. Want this and this and this. And you leave the store buying $34 worth of gifts.
Yep.
And you are the biggest winner today.
Yep.
She's the happiest kid in the world. Oh, my daddy took me to Walmart. I got this, I got this, I got this. And you paid a total of $34.
Listen.
Like, that's like the biggest hack that no one's telling other parents. Like, I want to encourage other parents to do this. Like, that's the biggest hack. Now, obviously, we got older kids. They know the value of price. But anything under 7 or 8, they don't know the value. And you take them there, you get them $34 worth of gifts, and you call it a day.
I think something you realize to that point is that kids are kind of easy to impress.
Really,
they're really easy to impress. Like,
it's not hard.
I think about how spoiled my kid. My son, my second youngest son, I think his 4th birthday, we went to a daggone hibachi restaurant. Where they do the cooking show in front of all the kinds with the fire. Hibachi was for 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And so he would have been fine with some Little Caesars pizza.
Yeah.
A couple slices of cakes and probably a couple toys from Walmart. Would have been fine. It would have been fine, but they spoiled.
Yep. We took ours to. She wanted to go to Juicy Crab on her birthday. Her 6th birthday, she wanted to go to Juicy Crab.
Juicy Crab.
While we're eating Juicy Crab, while we're cracking open crabs and eating shrimp, she says this is the best birthday ever. Now, all we did was go to Walmart, spend $34 worth of gift, and we went to Juicy Crab, and this is the best birthday ever.
It ain't got to be that complicated.
It really don't.
But I think...
And you know us, we already cheap, so we have won double time.
And I think sometimes just, at least our generation of parents, we think about what we didn't do as kids or what our parents couldn't do because, economics and times was different or whatever. And we overcompensate. Overspoil our kids, to where... Again, I look back on my childhood with fond memories. I don't sit here and pout and say, I wish I went to camp. I look back on my childhood with fond memories, and it's something. It's a ledge that I try to move back from. I'm trying to do too much because, and then too, one of the wisest things my dad ever told me.
Wisdom drop.
I was in college.
Okay.
And the girl I was dating in college, course. That's all I was doing. I'm trying to coerce them panties.
The perfect gentleman.
The girl I was dating, we went on a date to Red Lobster. Okay. That was my first time going to Red Lobster.
Okay.
I thought it was the most amazing place ever, right? Red Lobster, Nick.
So you don't know what you get.
I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, I went to Red Lobster. I got the little biscuits. I got the Admiral's Feast. And I said, why we never go to Red Lobster? And he said, well, son, there's some things I left you to do as an adult. It blew my mind.
Blew your mind.
You ain't got to do everything.
You ain't got to do everything.
You ain't got to do everything. You ain't got to expose them to everything. Leave some stuff for
Let
them
life,
to discover.
life be life, and they will find their way.
Now nowadays, Red Lobster done dropped down on the hierarchy. You know,
Yeah.
of nice places to go over the years or whatever, because we done got all
bougie.
right? But at 18, 19-year-old me, Red Lobster was like, we going to. I know I'm getting some draws tonight. We have Red Lobster.
You getting free biscuits?
Getting them.
If I don't do nothing but get biscuits tonight, I mean, we done did enough
My
already.
first time tasting them biscuits.
Come on, somebody.
So, but like I said, he dropped that gem and said I had to leave something for you. Now, granted, he probably pulled this out his butt, but it still resonated to me and said I left something for you to do as an adult. And now that's what's making me kind of step back off that ledge and say they ain't got to do everything. I don't have to expose them to everything. Leave something for them to do when they get grown.
I definitely agree with that. That's something I could take with mine. We haven't went to the whole internationals and stuff like that, but it's something I would like to expose them to. With me, with having girls, I want the mindset to be, well, I've done everything with my dad. I don't want no boy to wow them with
A trip to Atlanta.
a trip to Atlanta. Like, wow, oh my God. Like, da-da-da-da.
We going to the underground.
Is the underground still around?
I don't know. I don't know.
We did go to the
We
underground.
did
Go to the underground. That was the thing. But I don't even know if it's around them. But
I don't know.
I want to expose them to as many things as I possibly can. So a boy paying your phone bill don't wow you to take off your drawers. Like,
and I understand that. I understand that, you know, to where, especially with girls, like if there's gonna be somebody who's seriously courting her,
right.
Which I think is the word you're trying to find earlier.
What I said, coercing?
Trying to coerce.
But no, look it up.
But I think there is credence to that, so that, you know, simple things aren't impressive.
Right.
Like, girl, he paid my phone bill. And then your girl's like,
well, these new generation girls want more than
dad paid my phone bill. Right, these new generation.
They want you to pay the house note.
Well, we was coming up paying the phone bill.
It was like
You gave me $45.
Now you got to pay the house note, the nails, the hair, and everything, and then it's like a maybe, like. But
I still don't pay for nails.
There it is, though.
That's just. I want you to look good for me. Care enough to look good for me. But that's a whole nother time.
That's on another podcast.
That's on another podcast.
Let me tell you why I hate my kids. But yeah, you understand. But yeah, as far as disciplining my kids, my kids, I don't think I whip my kids often. I think I don't want to put my hands on my kids. I read somewhere where you say somebody said I don't want to put my hands on my kids because I don't want them to think a guy should be putting their hands on you, which I don't agree with as much. If your kids being bad, they need to be whipped. It say that in the Bible.
It should be a tool in the toolbox.
There you go.
It ain't the first thing you pull out.
There you go.
But again, that option should be on the table.
Right.
Now, back to what you were saying, I've heard that before. Where I've heard men say, "Oh, I don't put my hands on my daughters,
right?
Because I don't want them to
equate that with somebody.
Equate that to a man's love,
right?
But I've always countered that with, okay, well, any man that she get with isn't raising her. He's not like, I'm her father. Mm-hmm. So that's fathering her. A man coming to love her is coming to protect and provide.
There you go.
Not to raise her.
And
so I think it's dangerous to throw that blanket over it and say, well, I don't want her to get too comfortable with any man putting his hands on her. Well, that ain't the same type of love that a man pursuing her would have as a father. Again, you know, that man isn't raising her. Her father is raising her. You know, of course, you know, we get into the dynamics of fatherless homes and all this different kind of stuff. Probably another conversation for another day. But
another episode.
But when the father is present, I don't think those two automatically equate.
Okay, I'm with you.
That's just my perspective, though.
Yeah, well, leave us a comment and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I rarely have to. Well, my youngest, when she pushes the envelope, because I always do the threats. Hey, I get my belt.
And you had that nose going.
Wiggle it where you hit her. I get my belt. Do I need to get my belt? And then they say, no. And then the
that
little
should be
one
sufficient enough, right?
might smirk or grin or whatever. So I have to. She pushes the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
So the only time I whip my kids is when they make me have to, where I have to show my dominance, let them know I'm still dad.
I'm still a dad.
And anything doesn't go in this house.
You don't run this.
Right.
It's kind of one of those. You don't run this.
Right. And like we say all the time, the fear factor has to be established. That line has to be drawn to say, hey, we said no food upstairs. Now, I'll allow this, but after this one, I done told you repeatedly no food upstairs. So the next time I see food,
I feel like I have to pull that out too.
Right. I feel like the words are not doing enough.
Right. The
So,
words or whatever punishment I've done up until this point. Now, with my daughter, especially she's a little older now, but I can probably count on one hand how many times I've actually spanked her.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about the time that she was cooking downstairs when you left.
Gosh.
Did you whip her that day?
Nah, cause she already 11 at that point. So like I said, we've transitioned out of the spanking phase, but it still was like.
Set up the scene to people that don't know.
So my older two kids are home. I need to step out to pick up the younger ones from daycare. Mm-hmm. So I say, hey, I'll be right back. I'm boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
So now before I picked the other ones up from daycare, I had to make a stop to fat something off because whatever it was old fashioned and need to be fast off. Well, I get in the car and realize I left the papers on my desk. Okay. So I went back home. Probably wasn't gone more than a minute and a half. Okay. I pulled back into the driveway, and as I'm walking up to the house, I hear smoke detectors going on from the porch. Beep, 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 beep. So I open up the door.
I left something on the stove. Right?
I'm like, what is going on? Like, it's smoky downstairs. she in the hallway in front of the door. Like, and immediately that's what did you do? So I go in the kitchen, and she frying bacon.
You about to burn down the whole house.
I've been going for a minute and a half. The bacon shriveled up on the floor. House is smoked up. Detectives going on.
We about to have to stay in a hotel room for the night because you done burned down the whole house for some bacon.
And for even to get to this point, in the brief time I was gone, you had to have it on high, like immediately. Right. So I got a towel and I'm fanning the smoke away from the smoke detector so it turned off or whatever. And then ours is linked to the smoke alarm is linked to our security system. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting a phone call from the security people asking, "Oh, the smoke alarm went off. Everything okay? Do we need to send a fire truck?" No, don't send a fire truck. Right. Da da da.
It's just my daughter in here making bacon.
That's one of those, as I said earlier, that a lot of times with my daughter, I just leave it to her mama. I just said, I'm going to tell you, mama. I'm going to tell you, mama. Because I try to be conscious about, being too aggressive with her. Okay. Because she's a girl. She's a girl. Now, my son, right or wrong, my son's going to get it. But she's a girl. So I just said, I'm going to tell you, mama. And I just walked out the house. And
sometimes the mindset is the best discipline. Like, let them sit in that room all day and say, "Oh snap, he gonna tell my mama I'm gonna get a whipping when he get back," and just that's the best punishment where they just sit there.
They gotta sit and stew on it, right? Yeah. Like when I was a kid, when I knew, like let's say I ended up in church, right? So my parents come down after church. So we get home. That was the longest car ride ever.
The longest.
And you try to get in that back seat and you try to go to sleep. Yeah. Hoping if I go to sleep, they'll forget. Hopefully if I go to sleep, they'll forget.
Oh, man.
But yeah, sometimes that be the mental anguish of preparing your backside for a whooping. Is more punishment than the actual whooping itself.
Yeah, it is.
And you may probably have already accomplished your goal by just giving them that mental anguish.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, when I have to discipline my youngest, it makes me feel so bad when I have to spank her, just to see obviously her crying and her all that right there, and I have to keep disciplining her. I keep whipping her to prove my point because I feel like she didn't hit me the first time.
I think I think where I mess up is I'm ultimately a softie. So I'll come back in and talk to him. Well, you just gotta make better decisions this time. It don't make me feel good, dude. I'm such a softie at the end of the day. I come back and try to be their friend.
After you don't warm
And
out.
I don't warm out. And they in there sniffling. Well, I just want you to make better decisions. That's all. I don't want to be mad at you.
I don't want to be mad
I don't
at
want
you.
to see you upset.
Right.
I think that probably erase everything.
Everything.
If I just whoop them and keep it moving, they'll know ain't nothing to play with. But because I come back and be like, well, I just want you to I want you to be the best person you can be.
Yes.
It just probably cancels everything out.
Hey,
And which is why as soon as I walk out the house, she try to
probably-
cook bacon.
mine
Ain't
got
never
to the
cooked bacon a
age
day in her life.
Of bacon. We got the easy bacon. We can't even get that right. But we ain't burning the house down. So
Like, it's one thing to put it in the microwave, but you had it on. As soon as you knew you did something that you were supposed to be doing because you waited until I left. I had been home all day in my office, the kitchen right next to my office. So if this was something that you truly didn't know you couldn't do or wasn't supposed to do, you would have made that mistake with me being home. Oh, I just wanted some bacon. Da, da, da. But the fact that you waited till you took the first opportunity I was at.
premeditated murder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As soon as I stepped out the house and you figured you got some time.
Yeah.
As if when the logic train get messed up, as if when I came back home I wasn't gonna smell
the
it.
bacon anyway.
Like I wasn't gonna smell the bacon anyway and have some questions as you eating on whatever it is you put this bacon on. So how far did you think you was gonna get away with frying bacon? Ain't never cooked bacon a day in your life.
I don't know. She saw it on YouTube.
Probably saw it on YouTube. That looks easy. I could do that.
Yeah, everything is on YouTube. I have to take YouTube off the app because I feel like my youngest is the daredevil and she will try anything on YouTube. So I have to take that off. I haven't got to the point where I think that we talked about this in the last episode where I have to put locks on them to where they be on their tablets all day long. To where I have to put a screen lock on it and say, okay, y'all done been on this app playing Roblox for God knows how long. So now it gets disabled and they come in, Daddy, something's wrong with the tablet. No, ain't nothing wrong with it. You just hit the limit.
I need y'all
and
to
now
read
it
your
unlocks
Bible.
everything else that they don't want to do.
Right.
Like they Bible app.
Right, I need you to
all
read
the
the
1+1, all the educational stuff on there, it stays open 24/7.
Right.
So you still have the opportunity to play on the tablet, but now you have to be educated. Now you just can't sit on there and play Roblox all day.
Is that a YouTube Kids app where it's geared more towards kids, but even still, who knows what type of little stuff gets snuck on there. Yeah. But I do the same thing where they have a screen time allotment on certain apps, and yeah, but the educational one's untouched.
Yeah, but like when I was growing up, I played The Sims. And I would stay in front of the computer. I didn't have a tablet, I don't believe. I guess we're not that old, but I didn't have a
tablets
tablet.
though.
So I was on a computer nonstop playing The Sims. So I equate that with them with their tablets. So I understand, but I guess my mom didn't care. But I turned out all right, I guess.
I think by and large the Sims probably came out when we were more like high school though. Probably more around high school.
Yeah, it wasn't when I was,
Yeah, you wasn't 7 years old.
I played The Sims 7 years. But yeah, so I guess it was high school. But I don't even know. I think when I was 7, 8 years old, I was out playing sports.
I was outside,
and out doing something else, like out being a kid, not on my tablet all day. But
and that's why I tell, especially my oldest son, I grew up with video games. I ain't saying nothing wrong with video games. That can't be all you do all day, every day. Like, go outside, get some fresh air.
People making money these days playing video games.
I mean, they do, but he ain't doing that. He's just running up my
People making bank playing video games these days, man. They say you don't play video games all day. These people getting money, getting paid playing video games.
Now, if he was doing that and this contributing
I'm betting on people on prize that play video games to get me some money. So play video games.
Well, we can get tapped into that. Maybe I'll reconsider. But right now, he need to be outside.
Hey, I'm with you. Yeah.
On these bikes.
Hey, it just come down to the mindset of a child. And the only way to get in the mindset of a child is to whip them.
It's to whoop them.
And that's it.
Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope through our experiences, you find that little bit of encouragement to keep on going.
Yeah. And if you don't, whip your kids, and that'll give you the encouragement.
Y'all be blessed.
Be blessed.
Daddy, where's mommy?